Welcome to the Ideabaaz Podcast with me, your host Pooja Nerurkar.
There are no freebies. Nobody is going to work with you for a certificate. I mean, यार अजीब सी mentality है. We will give you a certificate. Come work with us. भाई मैं Canva में खुद बना लूँगी वो certificate. कौन? I mean, who is that who will identify this is a fake or real one, right?
Yeah.
And that money gives you confidence. Money gives you validation. And now, these are formative years, Pooja. And during those formative years, you keep me away from the real deal and use me like a freebie.
See, the most important thing for young professionals is having good mentors.
I feel having balance in the team, right? A male and a female, I think. And then I asked him, what do you enjoy the most? He said, numbers. I said, great.
My idea of a perfect date is to talk numbers and Excel sheets.
Sorry, he's married. See, thing is with founders now, your family is stressed about you. Society is constantly judging. Your friends are buying new car, they're getting married, they're holidaying. हमारा ना हर रोज battlefield होता है. Whenever we open Instagram, if somebody is holidaying, I to close it. I'm like, I don't want to get into FOMO because I can't afford to take a break now. So in this kind of a situation, when somebody appreciates because you chose a non-conventional path, was a lot of dream come true moment for us.
काम करते हैं full time employee जैसे, treatment मिलता है unpaid intern जैसा. This is so true, guys. For the longest time, हमें ऐसे लगता है कि the employers who want to hire us, they're like, अच्छा आपके पास experience कितना है? But experience आएगा कहाँ से अगर काम ही नहीं किया है? और काम मिलेगा कहाँ से अगर experience ही ना हो? I mean, this is like a vicious circle, right? So we all think कि अगर हमें कॉलेज के बाद immediately अच्छा जॉब चाहिए, that's the pride of our family. So I think it is so important to be able to do something while you're in college. क्योंकि ये जो सारे skills हैं that go on to give you the kind of job that you actually deserve, and you learn so many things along the process. तो ऐसे ही एक company है TimBuckDo, and I'm so glad to be calling upon here the founders Mythri and Apoorv. Please welcome.
Thank you. Such a great introduction.
Thank you. Lovely to have you guys
Great to be here.
Please sit.
Yes. Were you a part-timer? Did you do any gigs when you were
So
in
I did, good question. I did my internship, so articleship, because I was
Okay.
studying for my CA that time. And my story is like, a lot of my friends deep dived into specializations very early on. So when I started working at an early age, I was just figuring out, अच्छा कौन से industry में मुझे काम करना है. So I was doing full-time roles in different industries for like, say, 2 years, etc. But that was my plan for the early 20s. But
Nice.
if I would have known that TimBuckDo existed
I wish.
back in the day, definitely I would have,
Can I ask you another question?
Bilkul. I think, please
How
be
much
our host
pocket
today.
money did you get, and was that pocket money enough for you?
Never enough. यार, I think that's the case with all the students. क्योंकि आपको कितना भी मिलता है ना, it's never going to be enough. And especially today, because जो standard of living है, in our age, we used to not go partying that often. But right now, because of the accessibility of good clubs opening up, and there's a status symbol that especially people in metro cities have, अच्छा हम यहाँ पे गए थे, हम वहाँ पे गए थे, they'll just throw names at you,
Absolutely,
right?
yeah.
उसकी वजह से I think you need to do something to be able to sustain that kind of lifestyle. And then we have our friend here who had to maintain a very high maintenance girlfriend, जिसके लिए he ended up doing it.
Correct.
But I want to ask you that we see that the gig economy has picked up, especially after COVID, right? Because COVID may a lot of people lost their jobs and then they moved towards part-time gig work. And it's very interesting because we moved from 77 lakh gig workers back then to now somewhere about like over 1.5 to 2 crore gig workers. And the entire market size, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, is somewhere close to like $455 billion.
Yes.
And this is just India,
Yeah.
right? It's not globally. So when we think about that, we're mainly thinking about immigrants. क्योंकि
Agreed.
जो लोग आते हैं they're figuring out what to do and it's mainly catering to them. But students जो होते हैं उनके लिए आज तक मैंने ऐसा तो solution कभी देखा नहीं है. So please tell us how it started, what was why you wanted it, was it linked to your own story?
Yeah, obviously it was from a personal space. I came to Bangalore to do my graduation about 15 years back, and I got enrolled to this very popular college where my almas are like Deepika Padukone and Anushka. So you can imagine the pressure of managing certain set of lifestyle, hai na?
Yeah.
Because every girl walking in that campus looks like the fashionista.
This was where? In Bangalore?
Yeah, in Bangalore. Okay. So I got enrolled and I'm like, now I need to manage my lifestyle. I can't call my dad and say, Papa, aaj 2000 chahiye, Papa. Like, we can't do that, right? There is fixed set of pocket money you get. And that's when I started taking up a lot of gigs myself. Again, I started with pizza shop. I was I remember my per day earning was about 90 rupees. And then I've been part of big weddings where you see the invitation and do RSVP and let them inside. So that early exposure gave me a lot of confidence. Money was great, and I could manage my lifestyle, have that confidence in me going.
Yeah.
Again, it wasn't easy the way I'm telling, right? I was scammed, I wasn't paid. By the time I reached the spot, somebody else got the opportunity. So I went through a lot of such situational issues back then. And then cut to it now about 3.5 years back. I've been an entrepreneur. This is my third startup that I'm part of.
Wow.
So even in my previous startup, this was during COVID, and I used to have a younger brother. So I used to take him home, take him to office. Like, what are you doing whole day? Come, I have some work. Let's do some work. I mean, in spite of just you being under lockdown kind. So he then invited a couple of his friends. So end of that week, I had 4 to 5 college students, his friends basically. They used to come because they wanted to run away from the house, just have some fun around. And then I used to treat them pizzas. They used to manage my inventory. We were into D2C space. One of them was a photographer, and when you sell on Amazon and Flipkart, you need to have certain type of photos and things. So these kids were brilliant in managing the inventory, packing, making sure labels are put. I'm like, wow, damn. And I really did good business that time in spite of having like really few workers with me, right? And like I said, all I did was treat them pizzas. Then lockdown happened, and all of us resumed back to our normal life. Then one day, my brother turned 18, then I bought him a bike, and 1 week I saw him fully away from the house. Like, वो नहीं था घर में. मैं सोच रही थी कुछ तो लड़की का चक्कर है, घर लेके ये किसी को, मतलब कुछ तो हो रहा है. So being a nosy sister, I started checking his phone. Then came the shocker. He was working as delivery executive. I am like, no. You know that you forget your past and you think you arrived in the city. How will Mythri's brother work as a delivery? Then I confronted him. He said, no, I'm into trading. I can't deal with your money. I can't risk it. And then escalated. Dad made me realize, what did you do when you came to Bangalore?
Exactly. Everybody has their own journey.
Yeah. So that's how I got exposed to it. And then again, his friend, the photographer I was talking about, he was caught smoking. So his mom called me and said, why don't you call Varun back to office? He's doing some shady stuff. I'm like, auntie, let me see what I can do. And so I sent them to an internship kind of a situation in one of my friend's office. But वहाँ से वो लोग ना 2 दिन में भाग के आ गए वापस. They were like, that's when I was like, okay, if internship is not solving this problem क्या है, then what's the issue? Then they said they're not paying. We need money. And internship, we are not so sure because we are in, like the early college day life. We need something that will pay us, whatever it is. I'm okay to be part of an event. I can be a crew. I can be whatever. But I need money. That's when the whole idea of, and then I realized, okay, there is demand and then there is supply. Is there a way we can build a platform? That's how TimBuckDo came into existence.
That's amazing. You spoke about the scams that have happened with you, right? Where people are not giving money. So ये तो सबसे बड़ा risk है, right? And for TimBuckDo, you are actually standing for your community, where you are paying them upfront.
No, this we've thought through already. One is 2% of our budget is marked as emergency fund. By any chance any such issue happens, because the offer is being made on our platform and we have done KYCs, we know the whereabouts of a student. See, I mean, you cannot only decide that employer was wrong. Even students may not deliver, or they may not, upscan.
That's also true.
It's so we hear both the parties. Whenever we find that students have delivered up to 80-85%, we end up paying to students, and then we take the situation with employers. But so far in last 3 years, it's very
minimal.
Minimal. It isn't the situation. So just to add, 2022 we started. It's been 3 years in the market. Apoorv joined me as co-founder early 2024. So since then, this has become a venture, kind of a business. Before that, we were still testing the waters. Can we build real culture? Because there is no part-time work culture, right? And you first of all deal with parental mindset. The way I reacted to my brother, every Indian household,
ऐसे क्यों कर रहा है? हाँ.
मामा देख लिया तो क्या लोग क्या कहेंगे?
यार, because I think in India that's the problem now. We look down upon certain jobs. जैसे ये सब West में नहीं होता है. West में you see people who are very well placed but still doing part-time job as a working in a subway. So like my sister, my cousin, she is a physiotherapist in London and she used to work in the subway when she was studying there. तो I feel that ये जो problem है ना कि अच्छा मामा ने देख लिया तो काका ने देख लिया तो ये बहुत India centric है, but because that's the market that you're solving for, how are you like spreading awareness on that that no job is a menial task?
So across all my startups, I've worked with freshers in tech, in non-tech, in all different types of roles, and one of the things that used to continuously keep striking me personally was that there are certain kids who adjust a lot faster to the workplace and they start delivering. Like, they want to be good employees, right? So what I found that, okay, these kids have done some sort of events in their college, or they would have, done additional kind of gigs. Back then, we didn't term it gigs as such, but they would have done some sort of a work, something where their confidence, see, because skills usually at a fresher level are, they can be learned, right? It's more about the mentality, the aptitude of the student, and 100% of the time, if any of these, fresh graduates who've joined these companies, once they have got some sort of a previous kind of a work experience on these kind of gigs, right, where it's not necessarily related to their engineering subject or whatever, they are just so much more rounded and they're able to deliver faster. You're able to count on them more as a employer, right? So so this is where actually it's as a student, when you do these kind of gigs, you discover so much about what you love doing, what you don't love doing.
I totally agree.
You discover yourself in so much of a better way, and there are a lot of students like myself. I was not particularly passionate about doing everything, this, that, but me, myself, having sold some industrial tape and all those things during my college days, I just knew that I was able to understand what people are telling me in a professional setting just a lot better than what most of the people who had done their first internship and then joined these companies.
Yeah, I truly believe that what your calling is in terms of what you're working at or towards is it's like a Venn diagram, One is what you're good at, and the other thing is what you really like doing. It has to be an intersection.
Absolutely.
Because either side, you are either doing disservice to the company that you're working for or doing disservice to yourself.
See, to go back to the question you asked, right? Now we ask parents the same thing. See, for us, the biggest opportunity and challenge is convincing parents first and telling them, it's better than them scrolling Instagram for a couple of hours or wasting their time around the park or malls, because outside real work world is rapidly changing, and added to that there is AI and every other thing that it is creating a bit of a threat or some amount of tension, right? So employers today are no longer seeking just your graduation certificate. All of them are asking, what's your value addition? What are you bringing to the table? So when we spoke to parents, see, generation is absolutely okay. Gen Zs are ready to hustle. All they require is some amount of clarity before they sign up. That's their way of approaching. If you tell them 4 hours a day, 20 hours a week, and I'm going to pay you 4,000 rupees, they're happy to do that, okay? But if you hide things from them, and that 20 hours stretches to 30 hours, that's where they have a problem. You give them clarity, you tell them that this is what it is, they're happy to deliver. And if you see, gig is a very ROI driven, right? Even
Yeah.
for an employer, unlike internship. Internship is most of a knowledge transfer,
Correct,
right?
correct.
But gigs, it's always ROI driven.
Yeah.
There is a contract between you and me that you want something to be done, and I deliver it and you pay and we are done.
Yeah.
We have a golden handshake. So when we speak to parents about it, I keep quoting this, like, your child working in pizza shop is just not making pizzas and serving. They're learning inventory management, customer behavior, which are very MBA syllabus
MBA
today.
skills, yeah.
Take up any top CEO, C-class executive globally. You just take Satya Nadella to Nvidia, to even Nitin Kamath and Nikhil Kamath of the world, right? They all have done some gigs while they are in their college, and that gives you an edge. See, our educational system, unfortunately, it's still in a very traditional format, whereas our workplaces are modern today. So we need to find that gap. So what we tell students is, or parents in that case is, in that 3 years of your graduation time, do 10 to 20 gigs. Explore who you are.
Yeah.
Okay, you say that I'm good at photography. Okay, is market willing to pay you 5,000 rupees per hour, 10,000 rupees per hour? You don't know what your skill sets are valued at market, right? That only a practical exposure can help you understand how much of my skill set is able to fetch bread for me or help me on. So that's where we are very excited to build this.
Yeah. I think what you're building, right, is in direct alignment with what Ideabaaz is building, is what I truly am starting to sense. Because kya hota hai, when you spoke about the biggest billionaires or entrepreneurs who've done a lot of gig work, right, that teaches you entrepreneurship.
Agreed.
Over time, because of your perspective change, because of the way you approach things, that changes, right? So the only way that India or Bharat, true Bharat grows is through entrepreneurship and through employment of people. And that will only happen when a lot of people explore so many things in their early age.
Yes.
Because that's essentially, I was looking at the story of WeWork also. The founder, he did so many different things, and that's the story with every successful businessman or woman. It's like they've done too many things. So I think that ye jo aapne kaha, that these are MBA skills.
Yeah.
Inventory management. Otherwise, how would you even know
And
if you
even
don't
in
do
MBA, you're studying it as a case study. Practically,
Yes.
like I said, a cranky customer walks in and then says, can't you just manage cheese? And, like you can't say, get out of my shop. You will still serve that customer, try to manage, right? That's customer behavior. Now, will you study it as a case study, or would you like to experience it in real time? Because
और उसमें ज़मीन आसमान का फर्क होता है. Theory and practical. Oh my God! Like I feel like.
Correct. I would just like to add one thing, everyone, like, great, we are all speaking of entrepreneurship, right? But before that, there is a phase called entrepreneurship. I think that's where gigs come in picture, right? It helps you identify your strength and take ownership of it. What is entrepreneurship? It is basically take ownership of any role you are part of, right? Gigs, like the experience at gig level will make you an entrepreneur first, which will eventually make you a good entrepreneur, right? I've read this quote: to be a great leader, you need to be a great follower. So you need to do multiple gigs, be at a grassroots level, understand everything, and see the change in which, the style in which you become an entrepreneur.
No, another thing also is, in addition to the exposure that you get relating to work, you're also getting exposure to different types of people. And I think that ye jo intangible things hai na, in terms of that, the culture, the value system that you inherently imbibe as you go on working for those people or with those people, I think that also culminates into making you a better person professionally.
One of the things, actually, since we were talking about Bharat also, actually, from what I feel it does is, if I was to draw parallel to the West, which is not right in many cases, but since we are talking primarily about economic development as well, what's the difference between a college student there and here? I think the education, like purely in terms of just knowledge, I think Indian students are pretty good. It's the confidence that
comes from doing things.
That comes from doing things. They are so used to doing. You can be a billionaire's kid. You can be doing that part-time job because you really need to sustain it. But all of them do it. And that culminates into all these things. And personally, I feel confidence is the biggest one. once you are confident, you can be a great employee, you can be a great entrepreneur, you can be a great thinker. I mean, you can do whatever you want to do, but you get that confidence because you've experienced real life
Another
scenarios.
reason why you get the confidence is also because you're financially free from a very young age.
Agreed. Yeah. See, today, even 17-year-old kid today has that idea of money. I don't think so. It was back, at least in our college days, right? For me, financial independence was bunking Friday first class and watching that first day for show movie and walk out of the cinema hall and have that plate of chaat was my financial independence, right? But today's kids, you speak to them when they're 17, 16, they already have a partner, they have a date, burger prices have increased, they want to watch a movie, there is a new cafe, they want to hang out. And FOMO is part of their personality today. If my friend is doing, how can I miss on it, you know? And now, pocket money size, did it really grow? No, I think I was getting 1,000 rupees per month and now I think it's 2,500. But you see the cost of living that has increased now. It is important for, and also thanks to booming fintech in the country, every alternative student today invests about 100 rupees in one of these Zomato kind of a trade and call themselves a retail trader. So today that understanding of money is better. If you see, abhi to fantasy games are banned, but few years back or few months back, if you see 26-27% of the users of fantasy games were students. Imagine at the age of 19, 20, you have a lakh rupee debt on you. That's because you got into fantasy. Because you need quick money, you need quick lifestyle, you need to, you know, experience that new bowling alley in your town, you want to hang out in that new mall. There is a pressure on this generation. And what we are doing is just trying to protect them and telling them this is bad, this is not right for you, but instead engage them in constructive way, na? See, it's a reward driven generation. बचपन से मम्मी पापा ने एग्जाम में पास कर दिया, हॉलिडे पे लेके जा रहे हैं, 10th में इतना मार्क्स आया, मोबाइल दिला रहे, so you have made them get used to rewards. Now money is the language that they understand. You want to face it, you don't want to face it, but this is the truth. They all need money today. And for how long will you feed them? And after 22, when they get out and get into the 9-to-5 job, that's when they realize, oh my God, there is pressure, there is target. Let them get into workforce at the age of 18. You see the difference.
And this pressure is a real thing. Because I remember when it was my 18th birthday, I wanted to throw a very good party. Because a lot of my friends were very well-to-do. And I came from humble beginnings. So मेरा ऐसे नहीं था कि मैं घर पे जाके मेरे parents को बोलूँ कि नहीं मुझे party throw करने के लिए पैसे दो. That was like a no-no. मतलब I didn't have the guts to even पूछना तो छोड़ ही दो, right? So what I did, जो दिवाली में पैसे मिलते हैं ना रिलेटिव से या बर्थडे पे मिलते हैं या न्यू ईयर्स पे जो भी, वो मैं ना 1-2 साल इकट्ठा करते रही. एंड देन आई मैनेज टू थ्रो लाइक अ बर्थडे पार्टी फॉर like my closest friends, like 10-15 of them, because I really wanted that for my 18th birthday. But had I been able to work, right, I could have not only saved money, but also learned so many things in the process. So it's like a win-win, right? So to that question, I wanted to ask, what is harder, like which segment is harder to onboard? Are students harder or the companies?
Honestly, creating jobs, because there is no culture. See, acquiring students, because we are helping you earn. So, we are solving the real problem of your life. So, onboarding students is like really easy deal for us, and 3 years in the journey, so we have cracked our CAC, our metrics and all of those. But to tell employer, there are no freebies, nobody is coming, and in the name of internship, you can use somebody's time for free is something where we are also trying to work on. Honestly, it is also about balancing the number of gigs. The kind of gigs. For example, there are tier 1 college students, tier 2 college students, tier 3. For example, delivery executive role, maybe tier 2 and tier 3 students will not shy away from doing it, right? But tier 1, oh my God, I come from Xavier's, I cannot be seen doing delivery executive. So can we leave out Xavier students? No, we still have to create jobs for them, right? So that's where our focus is, to make sure every student gets, people ask us, are you into grey collar, white collar, blue collar? We say we are dealing with all colors. There is no color bifurcation, but anything that legally, meaningfully engages students and pays them. So to answer, I think employer is a bit of a breaking into that system and telling them there are no freebies. Nobody is going to work with you for a certificate. I mean, यार अजीब सी mentality है. We will give you a certificate. Come work with us. भाई मैं Canva में खुद बना लूँगी वो certificate. कौन? I mean, who is that who will identify this is a fake or real one, right?
Yeah.
There's no system.
Yeah.
Abhi you don't get.
So what are they saying? They'll give certificate instead of money. Is
Yeah,
that what
yeah.
they're saying?
Because they're used to internship as a culture, ना? Internship में होता क्या है? बहुत if you're IIT, IIMs or some B school like really big deal, then you get some stipend. Otherwise, they say, come help me with my social media. I'll give you a certificate. You know that you can attach in your resume. भाई किसी को नहीं पड़ी.
Yeah. यार CA के internship articleship में क्या होता है पता है? So we used to slog from 10 a.m. to night, maybe like 12 midnight or 1, okay? And peak hours तो you don't even ask.
my
Like
God.
2-3 बजे घर पे जाना होता है. And again it's the same process. So when you're studying for CA, सुबह 7 बजे का class होता था. 7 to 10 class, 10:30 job. Job goes on till like midnight, and then again the same cycle for 3 years.
Yeah.
And my stipend, okay, we used to call it stipend, but it was peanuts. It was 1,500 the first year.
Oh.
For the month, huh?
For the month.
For the month. This is not like a long time ago
Yeah.
or anything. 2,500 for the second year and 3,500 for the third year. So मैंने third year में क्या किया? I wanted to do industrial training because I was very interested in capital markets. So I'm into investment advisory. I wasn't interested in audit or tax, whatever. So I went into the front office. So I did foreign exchange trading with DBS Bank, okay? So DBS had interns which were IIM interns, and they were getting like around 2 lakh per month, okay? And then they were like, they told me कि यार no Pooja, we can't pay you a lot of money. मैंने बोला ठीक है कितना पे करोगे? 20,000 is what we can afford. I was like 2,000 से 20,000, like please ले लो. I have no qualms, like I have no issues at all. But that's what I'm saying, that the exploitation angle, and I wouldn't call it exploitation, but because
See,
we
yours
learned
is a very
lot.
yes. See, medical,
But,
CA, law, these are very practicing, and you know, I
Yeah.
think it's an ever learning kind of a process.
Yeah.
But what percentage of it is CA students, medical students, or lawyers?
But that's what I'm
That's a
saying,
very
that
small-
even for that segment
Yeah.
of society, the payout is far less.
Imagine there
So
was
I can
this-
imagine how hard it must be to convince the companies to pay.
Yeah,
for
I
gig.
mean, for us, whenever they say, we will give certificate, we say,
We are not
sir,
the platform.
We are not the platform because
Yeah.
I don't think so. See, there is at least basic खर्चा to reach that place, ना? आपको बस से, ऑटो से, मेट्रो से, there is some expense to it, and then there is food. And that money gives you confidence, money gives you validation, and now these are formative years, Pooja. I mean, you get a lot of clarity about yourself is when between 18 to 21. I'm sure all of us have gone through that age, and during those formative years, you keep me away from the real deal and use me like a freebie. You're just playing with my skill and my time, and then you're making me, and you know, these are the same kids when they get into 9 to 5 culture, all they know is to crib about the managers because, and then you make jokes about it in the office. Come on, let's move, you know, beyond that.
Yeah.
Gen Zs are great, if at all. I mean, every time I see jokes on them,
Yeah.
I feel like how stupid are they
Yeah.
to let a whole generation around memes. They're really good. They are,
Yeah.
dude. They're. I mean, see, I think we are
We have a
immigrants.
Gen Z right there. I think he's
Yeah,
blushing. He's just one में उसके लड्डू फूट रहे हैं, you know.
I was so proud of him. He said, "I'm drop out." I'm like, "Yo, I like you. You're my wife type." See, thing is, we all are immigrants, right? Non-digital era to digital era. पहले हमें like वो internet and then the Orkut and then Facebook. We all,
Orkut,
yeah.
oh my God.
So the thing is, for us it was like a new toy. We were like, you know, trying to log in, log out, make friends, write testimony. मतलब
Yeah.
what all with. And
Yeah.
this generation is born with internet. They're digital native. Internet is their like a basic skill set. So lot of times, even you know, jobs like lot of times, even individuals hire on TimBuckDo. Okay, like a home baker. Now she wants to use Instagram as a catalog basically. She's baking and she wants to click some pictures, edit it nicely, write a caption, put a music. Next time when somebody is ordering, you can just say, you know,
I
view
have a
my.
requirement. I am definitely
Yes.
going to be like a
So
subscriber
imagine
for
she
you.
going to a
Yeah.
digital marketing agency. She'll end up spending minimum 30,000
Correct,
rupees.
correct.
But a student with a smartphone, Canva, basic design sense will deliver it in 8,000. Imagine the
Yes.
win-win for both employers and a student.
Yeah.
I feel having students for your basic needs or places where you feel this doesn't require my attention. It's very basic for my time. So you can hire students. They're really good.
Yeah. And sometimes kya hota hai when go on.
No, I was just because the previous time when you asked that what is the challenge, actually that's where the fun is also in the challenge, I'll tell you from two perspectives. One is as a business. So today in TimBuckDo itself, out of a team of 25, we work with 8 or 9 students. And so much of our work gets done, and I shouldn't be saying this on camera, but we pay very less for it, right? And they are happy, they get paid a decent amount. But as an employer, I am getting a lot of work relatively done for a fraction of the cost that I would be paying.
Yeah.
Now, similarly, the use case that she made about the individuals who can hire through TimBuckDo, right? See, we are a student-first platform, which is why it ties back down to the excitement of finding gigs for those tier 1 kind of kids who will walk the dogs, who will come and help you at your place or coach your kid with football or before exam teach them something. So that's where the challenge definitely is, but it's also, I think, a lot of fun to really break past that, and we are trying to do it because again we are a student-centric platform, right? So we want to create gigs from individuals as well as businesses.
Yeah.
Because for both it's a very, very strong use case,
Yeah.
and students are a perfect fit. They have so much energy.
Correct.
All this, very sort of, I'm trying to use the right words here, but like low thinking kind of jobs that are there, right? And they're not necessarily like AI wala use case, but they're just jobs that need to be done in every organization. When you get a full-time adult to do it, that person is constantly looking out for a better opportunity. They are constantly they're just doing this to sustain. Whereas a student, when they come here, they will find 5 ways that you yourself as an organization can do things better, faster, using some tool. And
क्योंकि वो learning fatigue
Yeah.
होता है ना, you have to first unlearn. As adults, we're already used to doing things a certain way.
Correct.
So that's why a lot of people are hiring freshers because they want a new perspective.
I'll tell you one more funny thing. For example, you clock in log in at 9 a.m. and then you log out at 6. Standard situation, right? How many hours do you spend in lunch, smoke break, coffee break? So effectively you're working 5 hours. Your productivity is only for those 5 hours. Na? Whereas students, when they do 4 hours, they are focused, they will deliver. So if you compare an ROI from a student part-timer to a fresh MBA, I bet student part-timer is any day better because they know I am logging in only for 4 hours and I need to deliver. Whereas a full-timer, थोड़ा gossip करो, थोड़ा smoke कर लो, थोड़ा चाय पी लो, lunch का break ले लो, 1 hour का 1.5 hour भी होगा तो कोई नहीं देखेगा. So if you see from an employer, especially startup या MSME lens से, when you see it, part-timer who's a student is a great solution.
yeah,
You learn so many new skills.
events, man.
Okay, we have a whole different approach towards skill, right? Everyone is speaking of skill so much in the market. I mean, there are AI courses to what not. I mean, as a certification level, right? For us, skilling is like sharpening the knife. And you sharpen it and you keep it aside, it is going to get rusted. So you need to keep using that knife for it to work very smoothly. So skills are same. You need to acquire certain skill and implement it. And that implementation can only happen through, gigs.
Yeah.
So for example, in high school, you learn guitar. Now, once you move to 9 to 5, where is that guitar coming except your house parties, and then someday on your social media it may just appear. But through gigs you can be a guitarist, there's a house party happening, or in the weekend go play it in one of those cafes and pubs. So any skill that can fetch you money is predominantly gig. That's, I think, even examples like dog walker. You want to take it?
Yeah, dog walk. So, I mean, we've been...
It's like a win-win, no? You get to,
that's a real
play
win-win.
with dogs, be with dogs, and then earn money also.
18,000 a month.
मैं तो पैसा दूँ 18,000 to be able to play with dogs.
There's a lot of good money in that for students.
See, even as an individual, you are becoming a pet parent for whatever reason, and then you suddenly realize I don't have time to sit my pet. So then you hire a student through TimBuckDo, and then for you and for the student, it's a win-win, right? Even home tutors, like I said, you can be a bartender. A lot of time, students even take up these roles like being a tourist guide, local guide. Even
And that's like a per project basis.
Yeah, so 3 kinds of gigs get created. One is project basis. For example, somebody wants you to design a logo, language translation, document translation. In fact, for one of the largest AI companies like Gemini, through another company called Art Park. In fact, that is one of the use cases that we are very proud of. So they wanted every Indian dialect voice files to be converted into a document. Okay, so they now want यूपी में अलग 5 अलग तरीके की हिंदी होती है, या like there are different languages every state in India has, right? So they wanted students from Northeast, from UP, Bihar, Orissa, Karnataka, Gujarat. So once they reached out to us, because of the distribution that TimBuckDo has, and we are a student platform, so all students did was like hear those audio files in their mother tongue, in their local language, translate it to a document so that this large company could feed it to their AI engine. So for us, anything that will help them, so this is project based. There are then companies like Decathlon Hire. So again, they're 20 to 25 hours a week students commit. It can be weekends, weekdays. They work as sales executives in all their retail stores, right? So those are like again long-term commitment, and these are contracts. And there are hourly based gigs as well. So for example, events, there is a B2B summit happening, and as an exhibitor, you need somebody to be at your stall, just share the visiting card, give the pamphlet out, right? We recently did Bangalore Tech Summit and we were official manpower partners. So in that one event, there were about 220 students got hired.
Oh wow.
And per day they got 1,700 rupees into 3 days.
That's nice,
And they get food, they get to meet thousands of people, that confidence, and you
exactly.
you never know, you meet a CEO there and he likes
Wahi to hai. I was just thinking, that you see, the most important thing for young professionals is having good mentors. And if you can find mentors through the different activities that you're doing, now is the best thing. Like for me, I think that the people that I've worked with earlier are mentors for me, but this would have been an amazing opportunity. Also, I think that for introverts, for them to push themselves beyond their self-induced boundaries, getting like a gig at such a conference where they're getting to speak to so many people in their industry is the best thing, na yaar.
And आपको पता नहीं किसके साथ बात कर रहे हो आप. Like I said, कोई भी CFO हो सकता है, CEO हो सकता है, startup founder हो सकता है, and you don't know what click.
Your life will be made.
We have had so many examples like that. There was this guy who was working in one of this QSR. He's an engineering student. He was standing basically at a billing counter and taking order. This is a tea-based chain. And one day he reached out to us on LinkedIn saying, Mythri, I need your help. See, first time, whenever a student reaches out to us, right, we panic first. Because, not panic, in the sense, kya hua? When they reach out to a founders of the company, not the customer care, like
understood.
So our first reaction was, is everything okay with you, right? No, I want to talk to you. I need your help in connecting with the business development team. I said, bhai, kya hua? Paisa nahi mila hai? क्या हुआ ऐसे मतलब इतना why are you trying to get into their business development team? He's like, no, I have this data which I need to share. I'm like, bhai, it's a 500 crore company, they will have this data, tu kya karega? There is no value addition with this data. He's like, no, please. I still insisted, go speak to your store manager. He's like, my store manager is a dumb guy, can you please? Then I was like, itna insist kyun kar raha hai? Okay, then I thought I'll arrange this meeting. So apparently this guy has identified ginger tea of this size is being ordered continuously every day during this time slot, evening 5 to 6:30. And he doesn't have that idea. This is called product market fit, right? He has no terminology to it, but he knows that this data is important. And then he explained this to business development team. That is when even business development team appreciated. You're just not doing the billing, taking the cash and giving the change, and वो receipt नहीं दे रहा है वहाँ पर. But ये लड़का कुछ तो he is identifying a pattern. So that store hired him while he was in second year of his engineering. Wow. Imagine the confidence that kid today has, right? So we have, especially when students from lower middle class family, like vegetable vendors kids and fruit vendor kids, when they earn that 5,000-6,000 rupees, right, it feels like personal win for us. They do every odd kind of, like for example, you as a product company, let's assume you're doing to millet based some product. So before you launch your millet, whatever upma packet out there, you would want to sample it, right? So they hire students. So subah park ke around ya mall ke around, they will, before going to college, hand out the samples, right? And evening hours after college they do. So again, it's such a great fit for both product company and a student. दिन में 4 घंटे मुझे कोई चाहिए who will give out my products away. Who better than a student can do that? Who can converse, have that good healthy conversation rather than your proper grey collar boys who've just come from some rural part. Students are much better fit.
You were saying the other day that there was somebody who was a vegetable vendor's daughter.
Yeah.
तो उसके बारे में थोड़ा बताइए.
So see, as a go-to marketing strategy, हम बहुत colleges में seminars करते हैं, ठीक है, webinars, whatever students want basically. So one of these colleges में, it's again tier 3 kind of a college, I was there to give a seminar, and I think it was after that, a month after that, we were in one of these public events, and this girl has been following us on Instagram, and she somehow knew that I was going to be there. This is in the year 1 of starting TimBuckDo. And that day it was like raining, and there are some 300 students who are at this event, Then this girl, she belongs to a Muslim family, and she's in her abaya. She comes, pulls my hand like this, and I'm like, who in public place? I'm like, are you okay? Again, the first thing is everything okay with you? Did somebody do something? She's like, no, Mythri, relax. Ma'am, I got to know you're coming. I came to thank you. I'm like, मैंने क्या किया? She said, नहीं, TimBuckDo के वजह से मुझे ना 6,000 मिला इस महीने, and मैं खुद की फीस अभी पे कर पा रही हूँ. See, I don't want to.
I also got those calls.
Yeah, so for us, that's the greatest validation, right? What else do you work for?
Yeah, supporting a family is a huge thing.
Another one of those girls, last year she wrote that she took her mom out for dinner for the first time.
In her money.
With her own money.
Yeah.
That she earned via TimBuckDo.
Yeah. And that happiness is unmatchable.
She wrote it on her LinkedIn. It was so nice, and
took my mom on my own money, got her favorite dessert. I still remember coconut ka kuch to tha wo. See, these are some things that we really work hard for.
I want to first of all just give a big shout out to the friendship that you have, because I can see it backstage and now over here as well, and during the Ideabaaz shoot also. So I'm so excited to know how you guys met, because jo aapne Ideabaaz ke set pe kaha, that was just the tip of the iceberg. So I really want to know more.
Guess how did we meet?
I can't. I have no idea.
So I'll tell you the story. I was looking for a co-founder who can basically become a best friend. I was not interested in skill set but basically on a human level we vibe. That was my requirement. And back then, Mr. Nand Kishore Kalambi, who was our angel investor who wrote us the first big check. I told him, listen, I am looking for a co-founder. He's like, great idea. Yes, I think you need it, because he saw me slogging and all of those. And then he said, meet Apoorv. He's just quit Swiggy, but I don't think so he would be interested, but it's okay, just meet. And then we spoke. He sent me his CV. And I'm going through. Then I told him, देखो मेरे पास CV नहीं है. मैं हमेशा से I've been an entrepreneur. जो देखना है LinkedIn में देखो, and थोड़ी बहुत drama on my Instagram you can see. These are the only 2 public profiles that I have. But his CV spoke volumes, and then we met. 2 things. Raised by really strong mother, in madly love with his very strong wife, who is like equally very strong personality, adored his sister, spoke very high of all the women he met in his life. Then I asked him, another mad personality, would you be able to handle? And see, thing is, I was building TimBuckDo last 2 years when I met him, right? So there's a little edge. I know product better kind of a situation. With men, I've always seen there is that, I'm not again putting anybody in any bucket, but I've seen in the past that when women has a bit more knowledge, men, they tend to take backseat. Not with everyone. There is one. Acha bacha here.
We've all experienced it.
Yeah. So I was a little hesitant, but I was 200% sure I need a male co-founder, because I feel having balance in the team, right? A male and a female, I think. And then I asked him, what do you enjoy the most? He said, numbers. I said, great.
My idea of a perfect date is to talk numbers and Excel sheets.
Sorry, he's married.
I'm not
pretty much.
We can be friends.
Yeah, of course.
And still talk numbers.
Still talk numbers.
And then he said, I know Excel sheet and I love Excel sheet. I said, nothing more I want in life. I need a guy who can excel in Excel sheet and is a champion for women. I said, we have this deal.
My geek is just geeking right now. Like seriously.
Yeah, that's how we met. कुछ और कहानी है?
कुछ और?
अच्छा बोल मेरे बारे में.
देखो मैंने ना honestly I've heard like more. So
No, of course I will leave. Yeah, I want him to praise a bit of me.
Yeah. No, but actually, I'll tell a small.
Go many years
Yeah,
back.
I'll go many years back because
Yes.
when you asked about us, I said, guess when we first met.
Yes.
We met, I think, when we were 6 or 7 years old.
6 or 7
Yes.
years old. I wouldn't have guessed that at all.
Yeah, my mom was deputy commissioner in Hassan, where
The city I was born and brought
where
up in.
city was.
It's in Karnataka.
Yes. And Mythri used to go with her mom and see that, okay, there's a lady DC here, and Mythri was inspired that I'm going to be that lady DC soon.
Yeah. My mom had this ambition and dream for me that I should become a bureaucrat and should become a district collector and come to that same city kind of. So she every Sunday, very religiously, she took me there, and because there was a woman IAS officer sitting there, right? So she used to show that, you should become like Vandita ma'am. You should become an IAS officer. You should come sit here. Unfortunately, I lost my mom when I was very young. So for
I'm
me,
so sorry.
Okay. So for me, the only way to show my love back to her was to chase the dream.
Yeah.
And when I met him, when he said his mom was a DC in Hassan, I asked him which year.
Yeah. Oh my God.
When he said 96 to 98, I was like, don't tell me.
Goosebumps.
Honestly,
Insane.
After our meeting, I called my dad. I asked, who was that IAS officer? Was she Vandita Sharma? He said, yes, that's what Amma used to talk. She was referring to Vandita ma'am, basically.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God, what are the odds? Unknowingly, she's been my inspiration. At the age of 6 or 7, what do you know of?
That was his mom.
Yeah, and his mom, when she was there in the DC headquarters, she used to organize drawing competition for school children during Independence Day and Republic Day. I very clearly remember being part of that, playing in that garden. I feel like
I was there.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah. But to come back to this, so that's why, we met many years back, and I think our working together was, somewhere destined.
I was just going to say
But-
destined, because it feels like it,
For me, what made my decision to work with Mythri so easy. So, see, I love logic, numbers, process, everything, right? But this concept seemed very interesting. So when I met her, we spoke, and there were 2-3 things that I could sense. First is that she's got infinite energy. And I'm someone, like
he's talking about me, so I want to enjoy the show.
Yes,
Go ahead.
please
like
enjoy the
mom.
show. Yeah, infinite energy, right? Because I'm a structured person, my energy is also high and then it goes low. But this girl throughout those 3 hours was like maxed out on energy. So that was something that I really, found very endearing actually. The second thing was that the problem that she was working on in her mind, not just in her mind, with TimBuckDo, at that time for me it was, that she was working on. I felt like she had very good clarity on the vision.
Yeah, that's
right?
very visible.
From day one, this whole concept that we are not when you come from outside, gig is not a thing that you hear. When it comes to students, it's internship, right? That's what comes to your mind. So the clarity that I got in the first 5 minutes of meeting her about why there is no internship, kind of a concept itself on TimBuckDo, that was of really good, help to me. And when I saw her past work, she showed me with all the previous work that she's been doing and everything, I could see that she's got such an insane amount of flair for creativity, for thinking out of the box, for thinking big. So I think for me, that's where I was convinced that this is the right person who I need to work with, because at the end of the day, when I was looking to work with someone, of course, I cannot work with someone who I'm not friends with, or at the very least friendly with, right? And being co-founders is not the same as being colleagues. It's like
Correct.
you are through the trenches. Okay, there are things that are going on which only me and her will know, and nobody else knows about it. And that there's only one other person who knows this, right? So of course, that part was important. It was also important that for me, I'm joining somebody else's.
It's like adopting a baby, right? It's been my baby for 2
Yeah.
years, and then he now need to become a co-parent to it.
Yeah.
And when you have not been there from the day one, that parental instinct is not easy. So you have to induce. He worked really on it to become.
Yeah. No, so
co-founder.
for me, what the thing was that she was very cognizant of this fact that मेरे को पता है कि you are joining after this much of this journey has been taken, there are so many learnings and everything. So she took that pressure off me very quickly. Ki bhai, aake deliver karna hai. You have to, like, now that you have the CV, like okay, these are the goals that we have to hit. These are the numbers. These are the metrics. She was just like, you know what? Come here, let's figure it out. You figure it out. You learn. You get your perspective on this company, on the problem that we are solving, what the way forward is. So the fact that she was a woman honestly didn't make any difference in my life. I was telling her today also, I have more lady friends than men friends. I tend to get along with them. So I mean, and all thanks to mom, sister, my wife, and my dad for showing me how to, navigate a system like this. So that part for me was not at all, the gender was not at all something that I even looked at. I was just looking at, man, I think these are all the traits that I know that if I was to partner with someone, they'll need to bring out a lot. So it became super clear from there.
And in very basic level, right, our value systems are very, very same.
Yeah.
Right. We know for a fact that if somebody is investing a rupee, we should make sure we return about at least a rupee and 25 paisa on top of it. That value system has been very clear, and we are not here to just build something in VC money and then try having a PR going around it. We've been very clear. We are very conjuice people, cost sensitive people. So value system pe we are very same people, but when it comes to individuality, we are very different. He's a very WhatsApp long text kind of a guy. Subah 2 page ka WhatsApp bhejta hai, and then I would say, okay, we will discuss. Beyond that, I can't. And then when we meet, he has...
I can imagine.
Oh, and there are a lot of things like we enjoy a cup of coffee together. So we have... And see, we are not friends. We don't hang out in the weekend over a pub, and we don't have common friends. So for us, everything is work, and we have made work a lot more fun, and we have made work family and a lot of things. And even meeting his wife as part of my interview with him, he interviewed me and me interviewed. So I told you, bring your wife, I'll bring my brother. Let's see what our family culture is like, because it is important. See, today, I think flight is delayed and we'll reach home only early morning. So I want his wife to be very comfortable of the fact that he's with a bro out there. I don't want her to feel any other way, because at the end of the day, harmony at a household level is very important while you're
and
building.
that reflects in your professional life.
Yeah, it is. And so for us, for our families to be okay with each other was one of our major, I think very organically it, fell into place, and
Correct.
he was supposed to be my bro.
So when did you decide to partner together?
So after that first coffee shop meeting, second meeting we met, I met his wife, and there is this coffee shop, and then there is this temple outside the coffee shop, okay. So we all three, we realized, okay, we are of same
three
age.
being you, him and?
His wife.
His wife.
Yeah. Okay. So we all walked out, and then there is a temple outside, Venkateshwara Swami temple, and that's apparently his family god. So he didn't, this is not part of his everyday life to go to a temple and things. Whereas I am a very spiritual religion kind of a person where temple is part of my everyday routine. So, I was very hesitant to ask, should we walk into the temple? And as a sign, the aarti started, evening aarti started, and there was a bell that was ringing like a temple bell. All three of us looked at it, all of us together said, shall we go inside? There is aarti happening. I was hesitant because I don't want to put my belief system or, just out there. It's second meeting, right? We all three walked in. We said, thank you God for introducing. I think it was a very silent prayer. And then the next third meeting was Startup Karnataka ka grant ka pitch chal raha tha. Like government gives you basically grant. So the
2-3 days after this meeting.
Yeah.
Okay.
So there was this elevate a pitch Startup Karnataka ka. So I told him, why don't you join me? Just see the way I pitch, the way the product has been pursued. So he came, he saw the pitch, and they asked, who is he? Then I said, he's to be my co-founder kind of thing. To be. We didn't confirm it to each other. It was just third meeting. And then we walk out after the pitch. There's this camera setup, like a media bite that you're supposed to give. How was your pitch? And blah, blah, blah. So they asked me, how was your pitch? I said, very good. Then again they asked, who's he? I said, he's my co-founder. To the camera, and Apoorv was like, भाई तूने announce कैसे कर दिया? मुझे हमने बात नहीं क्या equity देना है क्या कुछ भी terms and conditions are not yet spoken. And then बाद में I moved out of the podium. I pulled him also to the camera. Come. Then I said, he's my co-founder. And then we walked out. He's like, if you don't confirm, my co-founder position. हमने national television पे ना अभी बहुत बड़ा बेइज्जती होने वाला है. I was like, you were like, what made you tell? I said, it's just your gut. It's instinct.
Yeah.
I think I knew from the time I saw him because he was sitting in that coffee shop with white color shirt and vibhuti on his head. So it was a very.
This is like a.
Yeah. It
Like
played.
an amazing.
Yeah.
I think this is what rom-coms are made of in the professional world.
Yeah, it's like
with
that.
the co-founders.
Hai na?
I'll tell you one of the things. So this entire story that she's told, right? So this vibhuti and all that, it's not like I was trying to do something to put on a show. The thing is that my family has been deeply spiritual. I was getting around to it, right? And over these last 1.5 years, my own spiritual journey has grown so much. I mean, see, she's very much there and she practices it very regularly. But having a co-founder like that, it helps you embrace your own spirituality, your own progress, and it's a very intangible kind of a dynamic. But see, your spiritual journey, or as an individual or as a founder, it impacts the way you do your work. It impacts your value systems. So on that front, we are always, our instinct is always to say the same thing. Usually if you throw a business problem at me and her, our business instinct might say, we'll go route A, mine might say we'll go route B. But when it comes to ethical things, when it comes to people things, when it comes to how to treat someone, that's where
very
it
aligned.
is. Yeah.
I think it's very rare. In the past I've been, like I said, founder, and a lot of time issue has come from a belief system. Like I said, skills can be acquired, attitude and character cannot be, and that's where I felt I got lucky. I don't think so I would want anybody else as a co-founder. If I have to co-parent a baby as a startup, it's this guy.
That's very big thing to say.
Yeah.
I'm so interested to know about your family, especially the women in your family.
Yeah.
So we've spoken about your mother.
Yeah.
She was an IAS officer.
Yes.
A little bit about, your father, your wife.
Yeah. So my wife is the most important person in my life. I met her during my MBA, and we were best friends throughout MBA, and then did not get together during MBA, but post MBA we got together and have been together since. We got married 5 years back. So the thing,
And this is MBA was how long ago?
2017 is when we graduated.
Oh, so
8
it's
years
been
back.
about 8
Yeah,
years.
it's been about 8 years. So the thing is that since MBA, this girl was always, always topping the class. She got placed in a far better job than me. She was doing far more things than me in her life.
Yeah.
But I always felt this sense of respect, and our friendship always was the one that kept us together, and then that, moved into love and everything else that, comes with that. So with my wife, the best part is that in our dynamic, right? So she's continuing to work her corporate job and she's, doing really well at what she's doing. But her success gives me motivation to do more. My success gives her motivation to do more, or to do different, or to do something. So she's someone that I learn from on a daily basis. She's my mirror also of.
Oh my God, the day they have fight, you should see him. He leaves office at 5:30. I know if he leaves office at 5:30, I ask, हुआ क्या? नहीं, flower pick करना है, रिद्धिमो को pick. I'm like, क्या हुआ? He's like, नहीं, सुबह चिल्ला दिया, so अभी I'm just going to make it up.
And she's not at all the flower types. So that's why I have to do these, that's why I do these things. But yeah, so I mean, on a more serious note, right? So that companionship that I get from her, I don't think I could trade that for anything else. When it comes to my sister, so my sister is 6 years younger to me actually. So we are poles apart with regards to our stages in life. So she is extremely good with her right brain. So she's now doing.
So she's artistic.
Yeah. So she's doing prosthetic makeup for Telugu films actually.
Wow,
she's,
that's difficult.
Varanasi, the film that's coming out, she's.
Priyanka Chopra's main.
Yeah, so she's a big. She's a big part of the prosthetic team there, right? So with her, I've always seen that studies was not her forte. And I mean, we all knew it since very early in her life, right? But she was always excelling at a lot of other things. So with her, from her, I was always inspired to, follow something that was a passion for me as well. Because I've taken an engineering, regular kind of a traditional route, right? Engineering, MBA, everything. So seeing her do this actually gave me a lot of courage to quit my job at Swiggy. She's probably one of the main internal inspirations actually that I have, where I said I can do this. You know, if my sister, who I've seen grow up around me, can do it, so can I. So that's, I mean, what it is with her. And my dad is the sweetest man ever. I mean, he's
also a bureaucrat.
So yeah, my mom and him are both IAS officers of the same batch. That's where they met. And he was working in the finance department for like 10 years towards the end and everything. So with him, it's like he, you know, from day one, I think your behavior as a man is a lot to do with what you see at home around you, right? I mean, of course, there are people who adjust later on in life and everything, but there are some of those things that are really, really set in stone when you're a young boy, right? When you see your parents. And my dad he's always been the guy. So apart from just, you know, being really loving and respecting towards the people in his family, every time there's a get together, he'll make sure that, you know, it's not that men are sitting here and women are sitting separately. He'll make sure that, you know, he'll offer everyone a drink, he'll crack jokes with them. So from him is where I've learned that, you know, there is no gender bias as such. Everybody is a friend, everybody is supposed to be given a lot of respect, and through the way he has been, I think that's one of the reasons why I have slightly more number of girlfriends than guy friends. So I don't really think about it like that or count like that, but I never felt the need to differentiate between my friends based on their gender, and that is thanks to my dad.
That makes my heart so full.
Oh,
I have no more questions. I feel like I'm just going to go home and just absorb everything.
How sweet.
Oh no, but it's so wholesome.
Yeah.
And the way you speak about your family and the way that they inspire you. Also, your younger sister, who's like 6 years younger, is an inspiration to you, and you're so vocal about it. Speaks volumes.
And that actually, you know, helped me make a lot of decision when it came to sharing this journey with him, right?
Yeah. I think, Apoorv, I'm gonna like give you a task, okay? You find me somebody like you to marry. Okay, please.
The only piece.
My parents will be obligated to you.
आप छोड़ दो, मैं खुद बता रही हूँ, भाई introduce me to somebody.
Just create your clones.
Yeah, create my clones.
This is a very big thing to say. I never say this, but
I am in the queue first.
Done.
ठीक है. Done.
I think after this podcast, anyway, we'll find a lot more boys. It'll be good.
Yeah. Post Ideabaaz, I was expecting a lot of similar men will send their proposals across. यार, सिर्फ investors आ रहे हैं. Investors का phone call आ रहा है.
हमारा benchmark बहुत ऊपर हो गया है.
Yeah.
It's like.
Yes.
Your MBA friends were like you.
Yeah, many of them.
All of them are married and taken. Pooja, so sorry. Like I said, I'm in the queue and I still have no.
This is our not daily, at least a monthly joke. She'll be like, क्या co-founder है यार? अभी तक एक लड़के से नहीं मिलवाया मेरे को.
Yeah, क्या co-founder? देखो, when he wants to leave early, surprise his wife. I've been such a understanding co-founder.
Yeah, dude.
I even suggest him take her here to this restaurant. Like when I can do so much.
Yeah.
तू तो
Yeah, the least you can do is introduce her. Yeah.
Just give a number.
You said post Ideabaaz. So let's talk a little bit about the whole Ideabaaz journey and what happened during as well as after.
Okay, so it's a very filmy. See, nothing with us is very ordinary. Everything is very filmy, dramatic like us. Okay, so there was this startup Mahakumbh in the month of April. We were flying to Delhi, and somehow Apoorv and me had this chat saying, "यार कुछ तो बदलेगा इस trip के बाद." वो internally वो थोड़ा सा feeling है. There is something that we cannot speak to camera, but again, so we knew that there is something very excited opportunity waiting for us. So we met Amay, who was part of the production team. Okay, like you meet thousands of people at expos, right? He came to our stall. He's like, "What is this? What do you guys do? Blah blah blah." He's like, "Okay." Then he gave me his card and he said, it's a blue color visiting card. I still remember. He said, "We are from Ideabaaz. It's a startup show." Honestly, in an expo, at times you don't take people very seriously because यार जितना serious लोग आते हैं उतना fake लोग भी आते हैं. So I was like, "What Ideabaaz? मतलब announce नहीं हुआ है, कौन सी TV पे आ रहा है? I don't think so." Then we didn't talk much about it. Same show में there was this Z business which went like there was an anchor who went stall to stall asking how's your experience with Startup Mahakumbh. We happened to give a bite as well. And then cut to it, Startup Mahakumbh was over, and then we get back and suddenly we are seeing downloads from northern part of India a lot, where we actually don't do a lot of performance marketing. Then we realized like we called few of our users who downloaded, and then like, how did you get to know about us? You know, curiosity tha. Then they all said, we saw your interview on Z Business. That's when we realized the distribution Z has, like you know, like at a regional level pe. And then suddenly I remember that Ideabaaz ka Z ke saath kuch chal raha hai type. So that's when we took it seriously after a month. And then still we didn't apply. They only like one of their partners reached out, and then we were still contemplating, yaar jana hai kya? Because national television pe you can't hear a no, you can't afford a no, because we're in a very because there is already a cultural issue of bringing part time into mainstream, and so we were contemplating jana hai kya, nahi jana hai kya. But that Z Business wala clip gave us that opportunity to think through. And then we applied, and then we had a long chat with the entire creative team. They were like, no, your story on national television is very good. There is a cost attached to it. This is made for Bharat, and you know, I think you guys should just you know, process, finish all other formalities. हमने basic सा formalities खत्म किया, business plan वगैरह submit किया, story and all of it. And then one Sunday afternoon, you get a call saying, Tuesday ko aaja na Mumbai, we are shooting. We're like, hey, it's both of us cannot, and for 7 days you can't leave office and come. We are a very small frugal team. 7 दिन के लिए
on a one day notice.
On a one day notice. Like you need to plan, what are you wearing, what are your t-shirt colors, like it's not easy na. We are not TV people, like every day we are ready with you know, every outfit that is possible.
The shoot must have happened only one day, no?
Correct, but they wanted us to be there in Mumbai for 7 days.
Yeah,
like
because of prep and everything, brainstorming.
Somehow we convinced them Tuesday nahi ho payega, Wednesday ko aayenge. So and then Wednesday again we were about to miss flight. Somehow we, you know, we used our
you and flights. There's
There's
something in the air.
If you follow us, if you follow our Instagram, you'll see it every time. We are the last ones to board.
And we would reach airport on time, but we are busy eating pongal and we are discussing
Coffee.
business.
That's oddly specific. Pongal.
Yeah, I mean that's way beyond.
That was one of the times.
Yeah, I mean one of those you know, incidents that keep repeating with us, that we will enjoy food so much, both of us are foodie, and then we forget that there's a flight to board, and then last call pay we will run to the terminal, and at times we get lucky, and at times we don't.
Yeah, but for this Mumbai one, that's not what happened.
Yeah. So somehow we made it to the flight, and then the best part was we landed, and there is this cab guy waiting, and then bhaiya dada hum aa rahe hai, like we got into the cab, and there's this founder already sitting in the car who came from Delhi. Then he's like, what's up buddy, like what's your name, wo ho gaya. And then he's like, Apoorv introduced himself and said, I'm Apoorv, I'm one of the co-founders at TimBuckDo. And that guy was like, are you from TimBuckDo wala TimBuckDo? Apoorv and me were like, whoa, wow, the first person we spoke in Mumbai
Spelling your name
know
correctly.
about us. I said, yeah, you know what, I was just checking your portal 3 days back, in fact I want to hire. Dude, that was like, you know, the first person you met on this trip already knew about TimBuckDo, right? So we felt, oh wow, what a time. And then we checked in, and then
Yeah.
there
was a lot of drama on the car ride to the airport as well. So I'll tell that part.
Yes, please.
So Mythri is someone who generally doesn't stress. She's either, her mode is she'll get irritated. But this time she was stressed. Ki bhai late ho jayenge. And not that we can't take another flight, but it's just, you're going for such a big thing, right? Like you wanted to start off on the right note. So
before that, Friday raat ko mera breakup hua tha with whatever reason. I was already irritated in life, and this was my escape trip. Basically work and escape. It's, you know, it goes
7 days.
7 days of, you don't have to be in Bangalore and, you know, address those phone calls kind of a situation. So so I can see that now she is like losing it. She's stressed. Kya karenge ye wo. So we played the Hanuman Chalisa. And there were signs. I'll tell you what happened. So we are listening to Hanuman Chalisa and, you know, just like calming ourselves down. And then in one of the signals, 2 cars come in front of us. Both have Hanuman ji ka picture on the side. And then car moves ahead, and then I see to my left there is something called Kuberan House, which is production house name of Ideabaaz. And then the next board was Vijayi Bhav. I told Apoorv, signs are in our favor. And then we had to pull some string to get into the flight, which I don't think so it's wise to tell on the camera. And luckily we got into flight, and that happened, right? Like then I said somebody in Mumbai who we first spoke already knew about TimBuckDo. And the best part is, next to our hotel, the apartment where we were staying for the show, had this temple, like Devi temple. So every day morning we made it ritual before going to set. We used to visit and do our prayers and things. So again, that 1 week on the set honestly was the best time. I mean, we got our script, we were through it in a day, and then by next day, even team said, "Yaar, in logon ko aata hai." They know they got their pitch and their lines, just fine tuning, and then we did our costume rehearsal, stage rehearsal, technical rehearsal. And for us, I've been a TV journalist before, so for I was super
interesting.
because I did my graduation in journalism, I had a show and all of that, but I was super excited for Apoorv because he's like a kid in that toy shop, right? Oh, ये भी camera, ये भी light है, ये इतना बड़ा सा stage है, यहाँ से
I can imagine.
Yeah.
It's a huge set.
It's
no?
a huge set.
You get
And there's a lot of
intimidated
things
first of
happening,
all,
like, I
though.
mean,
after-
And
yeah,
the
too
best
many
part,
things.
food. Dude, I mean, 3 times such good food, such warm people, and founders from different parts of the country, and there are dogs. Apoorv is chilling, and
Yeah, I love the dogs. on the
yeah.
set.
I honestly felt the amount of respect we got as founders on Ideabaaz set. It's very rare, and we always are very thankful and grateful because there was no pressure of pitching. We were confident from the day one because the team was confident. They were like, "Yaar, aap log kar loge." They never, and even when Afan, who's from TurboStart, who's a financial consultant, sat with us, we were little hesitant because we had just closed a round. So we were like, should we open the same round or how do we do it? That guy gave us a lot of confidence. No, for the product you're building, for the addressable market you have, for the tech you've built, I think you're doing the right ask, go for it. So everyone from story to script, I can go on taking names, Sid, Janvi, Aman, everyone were like so warm. Yeah, I mean, I haven't met anybody who, thing is with founders now, your family is stressed about you, society is constantly judging, your friends are buying new car, they're getting married, they're holidaying. हमारा ना हर रोज battlefield होता है. Whenever we open Instagram, if somebody is holidaying, I to close it. I'm like, I don't want to get into FOMO because I can't afford to take a break now. So in this kind of a situation, when somebody appreciates because you chose a non-conventional path, was a lot of dream come true moment for us.
Your pitch, in fact, went viral, and I entered just seeing that meme that was happening. Did you ever imagine that that this could go? Was it like a strategic call to make it like Pyar Ka Panchnama?
Yes.
Because that would have been incredibly wise.
Yes. So that credit goes to creative team at Ideabaaz. In fact, they had thought through it and make it fully filmy because Gen Z they will get. So, I mean, their creative thought process actually worked. In fact, we also didn't expect that it would go viral. And with us, we didn't know that we are season openers. Ours is the first pitch that is going on air. So we had this opening batsman pressure. That is now. But while shooting, I mean, we were happy with the makeup, and the day we were pitching, we both told ourselves, "Kya hi hoga?" ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा क्या हो सकता है? No बोलेंगे, है ना? But Apoorv was ready with his numbers, and he knew his, like how to ask valuation, क्या होगा, कैसे होगा. If I don't know whether that was, I don't remember. Even in deliberation room, we decided to speak in Kannada amongst ourselves, so that people on the other side, the control room, is having no clue about what are we discussing. So हमारा बहुत अच्छे तरीके से whatever strategy we made, and इतना fun हुआ ना during pitch. Oh God, I mean, I wish world would see that entire 1 hour of drama that happened. It was too much fun. But क्या valuation पे and all that, you want to throw some light on the numbers?
Yeah, so I mean,
all the Titans invested.
All the Titans invested, and Pratik Gandhi endorsed us. I mean,
Pratik was too sweet. He made sure that your valuation was intact. He made sure that you got a brand ambassador at like no money.
This is not even to do with numbers. I mean, she told you what our strategy was, right? Get one yes, do an amazing marketing for TimBuckDo and come back. But see what all we came back with. I mean, the fundraise itself, we actually closed more funds post the show from the same, from Ideabaaz itself. So that made it about a 2.5 CR.
So the Titans invested more?
No. So 1 crore came from 4 Titans as you saw on the show. TurboStart was doing our due diligence.
Who's
they
the partner?
There's something as a surprise in the finale episode, too early to talk about it, I think, if the podcast goes before that. But we also, I mean, the total pool through Ideabaaz is 2.5 CR that we got. There's a couple of surprises in coming weeks that we will now.
So excited to know.
Yeah.
वो जो एक पार्ट था ना जब ऑडियंस का पोल लेते हैं,
Oh yeah,
बहुत ज़्यादा unnecessarily drag कर लिया उन्होंने. 2 मिनट के लिए 92% no, 80% no. I was like, यार पसीने छूट गए.
Khatam karo abhi.
Luckily, it ended up 92% yes, and you know all that. But
92%. That moment, but the way Pratik turned, like you said, he made sure the turning point. In fact, the day show got telecasted, each and everyone who saw the show wrote to us saying it was Pratik who, in fact, my own brother, when the families came on stage, it was not showed, but he went to Pratik and said, you know what, these guys didn't crack the deal, it was you who cracked.
Yeah.
चलो अभी हम लोग एक टीम हो गए हैं तो चल के हाथ मिला लेते हैं आइए
ओके ठीक है
Yes! Thank you! Maybe Pratik could relate to it, right? It is not that he saw through us in that 1 hour of pitch. So that's where I think, like he said, we got all Titan deal, we got Pratik, we got such a
funds.
Big stage.
More funds.
Yeah, and it went on 8 regional language. When Kannada and Marathi episode went live, our traffics on our website were better than the Hindi episode. Maybe even the local regional. Kannada I can understand because we are from Bangalore and you know there is a history to that language, right? But when Marathi episode went on air, that time also traffic picked up. That's when we realized the regional medium ka power kya hai. So abhi na, we have learned from them that experience, and even in our go-to marketing strategy, now we are going to bring the local language. You know, just make sure it is available for every audience.
You had manifested, like you were trying to manifest Arjun Vaidya and you actually ended up getting him. He was, I would say, like a tough nut to crack because he was trying to negotiate.
And it's an all Titan deal. Valuation थोड़ा और कम करना होगा.
Sir.
अब अर्जुन वैद्या ने इसे इंचार्ज ले लिया है.
But I think that despite that, Arjun was somebody who felt a lot of pride in investing in you guys. And that also reflected in the LinkedIn post that he had put up.
And also on Instagram, he made a complete, like one proper reel about why he invested in TimBuckDo, you know, how he believes as one of the, you know, like a space that he is interested in, and he's appreciated our, I mean, you don't have to do it, right? Even Sandesh Sharda sir, shooting ke ek hafte ke baad he visited us in Bangalore, spent a lot of time, figured out
so many ideas.
He's very proactive.
Oh my God, he's I mean,
true VC from DC.
Yeah. And you know, he only reached out first on LinkedIn after the pitch. He said, Mythri, I'm coming to Bangalore. You know, that voluntarily you approaching and putting us in that comfort. When he came to Bangalore also, we were little hesitant to host him in the office because abhi to we have moved into a bigger office, but then we were just, you know, itna bada sa ek open hall hai. We put beanbags, some chairs and all. We are working like a proper studio kind of a setup. So, and there's no lift, and we were on the 2nd floor. So I was like super hesitant, yaar, VC from DC. But he came, he appreciated our frugal mentality. He said, Aap log, you can afford a bigger space, but this shows how sensitive you are about things that you should be careful. Why is fancy office required when it is not required? When, like, you know, and then we took him out to eat a idli in one of the darshinis, no fuss. Usually, what we have heard from other fellow friends, other founders in the market is, when VC comes, treat them nice, throw a lavish lunch, ऐसा कुछ नहीं हुआ. Like we
stood in the queue and
had that idli, and he joked about it. He in fact said, "Yeah, I'm going back to US. Why don't you record a video by jab episode आएगा आप release कर लें." You know, everyone, even Shelly, abhi there is a Digital Women Award. So see, we are just very new portfolio company for her, right? But when she saw that Mythri can get an opportunity here to speak about TimBuckDo, she made me part of the panel. Even Anupam sir, he's been inviting us to Delhi, so it's very warm. In fact, Pratik also invited us to his house. Then he explored out of how can we take this ahead. It's not just for the TV. He said I'll endorse, but he stood by his words, gave us that audience time. Hopefully, what we tell ourselves is all this is nice, glitz and glamour, but we want to be very responsible, very judicial, put our head down, work hard. It's not for the students, but also for people. Like, you know, they trusted us, right? It's a lot more responsible feeling now.
What was that one Ideabaaz moment, or that kuch karke dikhayenge wala moment where you had an epiphany कि यही करना है? And it need not just be in the Ideabaaz journey. It could be much before also.
Yeah.
When was it for you?
You go ahead.
Yeah, I'm looking at Apoorv only.
So I have turned from an intrapreneur to an entrepreneur. And see, I think for me, so when I was working at Udaan, I was one of their first hires in their private label team, and we were building private brands. And the first product that we launched, but like I was sort of the one who had done all the. My neck was on the line. Let's put it that way. It failed spectacularly.
Yeah.
It failed. It failed. Money went, and I mean. So went back to the drawing board and did it again, and the next time it was a success. And I was like, anyway from inside I anyway wanted to do something for a while. But after a spectacular failure, 2 months later, it has been turned around and the same brand is being talked about by leadership now ki isko grow karna hai, additional funds, additional team required for this. It gave me that confidence that, I want to do something of my own, and I am capable of doing something of my own. And that's where it was born. And over the course of working at Swiggy, I think I learnt a lot at each of these organizations, but Swiggy was by far the most responsibility that I had held, and the most money that I was sort of directly responsible for managing, right, and growing. And once I felt the confidence there as well, and once I felt like I've worked in different types of things, and I'm able to understand how to get it together, that's when I knew that it's time to try it. It's time now. There is no later time.
Yeah, it's now or never.
Yeah, if you don't try it, you'll never know.
Correct. I truly feel that the last thing you want as you grow older is to have any regret.
Yeah.
It's better to feel that okay, you've been there, done that, maybe failed miserably, than to feel what if I would have done that. I think that's your that directly leads you to a feeling of unhappiness. And I would never want to go there. So where was it for you?
See, being an entrepreneur, this time I was well prepared. So I didn't have any of those butterfly moments. But I was like, will India accept part-time as a culture? Will students adopt it? Okay, I've seen my brother do it, I've done it. It's all fine, but can we do it like a venture scale business? And how do we solve retention? So I was always thinking through, how are we going to make sure that we become pioneers, what Zomato did or what Porter did in their respective? Can we get into category creation? This was the question that I kept asking myself. So for me, organically, when one of the QSRs, HR, before hiring or testing the platform, called another brand and said, you know what, there is a platform like this, why don't you give a try? So when HRs, without our push or marketing or effort, started talking about us, like word of mouth. See, like I said, student.
That's when there's proof of concept.
Proof of concept, and that's when I was like, okay, because for me, I wanted to be sure of what I'm building this time, right? Yeah. Because I've seen the cycle twice, so I really wanted to be well prepared for what is coming. Yeah. There is nothing called 100 proof, idiot proof that you can do, but there are certain areas where you can be well prepared. Right? I wanted that assurance from market to come. Like I said, category creation, it takes a lot. I am sure a lot of funding is required, a lot of mentoring, pivots. We should be always on the toes. Am I okay to commit? It has happened with me in the past where investors have said, you're single, you're not married. What if you tomorrow get married and suddenly you have a child? What will happen to business? So you will have to navigate through these questions every day. So I'm like, do I have answers? Do I have, can I show my passion? Can I tell that I can be mother to my baby also and to my startup also? So how do I prove myself? So that can only happen if I'm well prepared and if market is responding. So this time I was super conscious, but like I said, for me the validation was always from HRs without putting that effort, reached out to us. And students even today come visits our office with a box of sweet and you know what. So those are certain things that I even today enjoy, and I think that's where for me the confidence came.
Very important, because I think the biggest mistake that founders make is that they assume a problem which might not actually be a problem. If it's a problem for you, need not mean that it's a problem for the entire market, right? So with you, everything that you spoke about right now has a lot to do with establishing a very robust feedback loop with your stakeholders. And I mean both sides. Students, which you did a very strong consumer survey on, as well as the HRs or the recruiters of
Yeah.
companies, you know, if they're starting to talk about you, that means that there's some gap that you're filling, and that's very important.
Yeah.
And so I was part of a pharma company, and we were building a health tech app. So I was the founding team member there. It was the pet project of the CEO, global CEO. It's a very big pharma company. And there, I think what we learned over maybe the first 6 months is that, are we trying to solve a problem that's not there? And then the whole feedback loop where sales and product development teams started working so closely together. Because the sales team is in direct touch with the potential consumers, right? And I think that is what I feel is often missing. But with you guys sorted that out from the get-go.
Just to add as a last point, see, though we had money, after raising some serious friends and family and seed fund, we didn't jump to spend it on YouTube ads, Meta ads, Google ads. We in fact stood every day in one of those colleges, in one of those events, met students. I think our first 25,000-30,000 users were acquired on ground while we spoke to them, convinced them, and try to Meta. I think 8-9 months back is when we started spending on performance marketing. Before that, Apoorv and me were very sure, pehle let the on-ground community get built. Today we run Campus Ambassadors program in 300 university and colleges, and we have a tech to solve it. So for us, AI is just not a feature. We like why we are a tech company is because AI or tech is part of the process also, right? How do we make if first we ask, can tech solve this, can AI solve this? Only then, if yes or no ke upar, we will decide on. So we've been that way. Category creation, I don't think so. We should just rush and invest all the money on.
In our entrepreneurship course at IIM Ahmedabad, a professor once asked us, whom should the founders be most close to? And everybody was like, okay, maybe the leadership, the managers, the employees, the investors. So we had all these answers. Like, no, the consumers, the customer,
users.
And that just blew our minds and changed our perspective, right? Because agree that everybody is
important.
The point though is that if the consumers are not happy, the other stakeholders are invariably not going to be happy. You can't make the investors happy without making the customers happy. It's not possible.
Agreed. So especially when there is already a successful example available in market, for us to just get inspired or better the business model in that sense, for us, you better hear from the horse's mouth what they want. Even when we are developing a feature, right? I have to give you this insight. This is very fun because we also have a student discounted marketplace within the same app. We thought giving discount on mobile and laptops will go viral and TimBuckDo tomorrow is going to crash, kind of a thing, right? So we went and got best of best deals on laptop and mobile, but trust us, not even a single sale happened. We were like, what else this generation wants? Gadgets is what we... No, but that's still up. When we went and spoke, like, why you don't want, what made you not purchase? They were like, guys, it's still a parental purchase. I am okay to save some money for my father. That's great. But what are you doing with my pocket money? How can I have a better lifestyle in the money I have? So I am out of the house from 8:30 in the morning to 7:30 in the evening. What are you solving for me in that time? So we realized you want to, like, clothes is something like a fast fashion. Is that what they want to solve? Travel, they want us to solve. New cafe mein, they want discounts, student discounts. Food ke upar, commute ke upar, experiences. So we then, we now have our own student discount payment system, QR code that you will see in our partner cafes. Again, I'll go again with the data that, so we realized ice cream parlors do not have customers in the morning hours because evening family crowd gets picked up. So we went to ice cream shops and you know what, there are students, they are willing to come. Morning mein aana hai, college bunk karna hai, paas mein ice cream shop hai, hang out karna hai, kitna discount dene ke liye tayar ho, ab batao. So we cracked deals around those college ke campuses mein hotspots hai. And now we went to coffee shop. Wahan par what we saw, morning hours, there are work from home folks sitting in the coffee shop ordering their cafe, whatever it is. And evening hours, they all are out. So evening hours, coffee shops are, pura empty hai. So there again, we went again deep, got them 15-20% discounts. So now we have made it very hyper local. In that 2,000 rupees, Earlier you were having 2 burger, 2 coffee and 1 movie. Can I double it for you? That's where the student, so we've been always a very data driven, data sensitive, community focused company. Hopefully we will remain so.
That's
This
always
is the
part
right
of our
approach.
DNA. You know, even after Ideabaaz, we were obviously me and her are human, right? We were both excited about
Yeah.
Pratik Gandhi, and we knew this is a no-brainer. But despite that, we made sure we checked with our entire student soundboard on their opinion of Pratik Gandhi. What is the first thing that comes to their mind and all that before even stepping into a conversation.
So how
with
do you
Pratik
check
Gandhi.
with your student soundboard? Do you have an advisory
Yeah.
board of
Yes,
students?
Yeah.
we have a set of students from different backgrounds.
Amazing.
A set class, different subjects, streams. So
And this is like a WhatsApp group that
no,
They come to office.
Yeah.
Oh, they come to, wow, amazing.
So
It's
once
like a focus group that we do.
Yes, once
Yeah.
in a while, like every 15 days once, whenever there is a problem, we give them the problem statement and we tell them this is what we are thinking. आपको चाहिए क्या? आप 10 लोगों से बात करके हमें again
बताओ.
come back to us.
Yeah. What's
So
the number like? How many people?
This month we will close with 4 lakh.
No, how many students in your board?
Oh, that is about 12.
12.
For now. Yeah.
Perfect, perfect.
Yeah. And we have 300 campus ambassadors in
Yeah.
various universities
Yeah.
and campuses.
Yeah.
For example, brands like Super U, क्या है Swiggy का new
Yeah.
Snack by Swiggy.
by Swiggy, and a lot of D2C brands use our ambassadors to promote their
Yeah.
products, campaigns.
Yeah.
So we keep giving students, live projects within the campus. So yeah, think student, think TimBuckDo is like I said. Whenever you think of something, think of TimBuckDo first. If we are unable to solve, then look around. That's
Yeah.
the whole idea. So just to sum it up, TimBuckDo is a platform that is solving needs and wants of a student, which
Yeah.
are like students are the ignored class of the society.
Yeah.
Until unless they come to get into a mainstream job and pay the tax, they don't feel that country belongs to them. It's
Yeah.
not their mistake, it's how we have treated them. So idea is to bring them to the forefront, bring them to the mainstream, make them part of everything that is happening.
Got it.
That's the idea.
You know, in conclusion, I want to ask you the last question that I always ask, and that's for our audiences.
Okay.
What is that one piece of advice you would give to somebody who is starting on the journey that you have already started a few years ago?
I'll let you answer.
Okay.
Both of you can
Okay.
answer.
You want me to go first or you
Yeah,
go
yeah,
first?
you go first.
Okay. See, I'll just preface this by saying that I'm a very patriotic person. Okay, so when I answer this, see, I'm a very young entrepreneur myself. It's been less than 2 years, right, since I've been on this journey. But I want to talk to a specific class of budding entrepreneurs who are people who work in startups already, who already are in corporate and have that little itch going on and on and on in their mind.
कुछ करना है but कर
Which-
सकते हैं कि
yes.
नहीं?
And the only advice is if you never try, you'll never know. And there is no better time than now. And why I started this by saying it's all about nation building is, see, TimBuckDo is for students, and of course that is where all my efforts are going. But if it's regarding overall Bharat ka building, there are so many corporate employees who have worked for some time. They've developed a corpus for themselves where they can, of course, not everybody can afford to not earn for some time or to take a risk like that, but there are many who can and who tinker with the idea, but then they let it go saying it's too comfortable. Salary is the number one drug. We should, for those who are in a position of privilege where you've got a bit of a corpus, try entrepreneurship. You will, apart from yourself, you're going to change the country as well. So that's my
Salary is a drug.
advice.
Rightly put, rightly
Yeah.
put. It gives you complacency, a sense
Right.
of comfort, which is actually counterproductive to your own growth.
Agreed.
I believe in that.
So yeah, that would be my advice to a specific set of budding entrepreneurs.
Nice. So for me, like I said, I've been there, done that twice, and this is third time. Honestly, for me, being an entrepreneur is a personality. Some can develop, like you said, but I have two things that I've learned over a period of time is have an ecosystem. Take your ecosystem into confidence. It may be your parent, sibling, partner, mentor. So make sure you have that ecosystem built, and it's very, very easy. Like you will have to, for example, I want something to be, clarified. So I have set of people who I know will definitely help, and I worked over a year to have that community built, that ecosystem built. It's all fun, emotion. like keeping all of those emotions aside, practically see through yourself for 2 years. Can I do this every morning? Because it's a firefighting, it's no fun, it's very ugly. You know, at times we end up fighting. Sometimes you'll have to park your egos aside, look eye to eye. You know, it's mess out there. What comes to use in those messy situations is the ecosystem. You need that ecosystem.
Keeps you grounded as well as lifts you up.
And you need that safe space where you can discuss everything. It can be, like I said, anybody. So have your ecosystem sorted. The other part is you need a lot of audacity and prepare yourself for it. Audacity should be your surname, second name, whatever it is, because people are there to give you 100 reasons why you should not do it, but you need to every morning see that one reason. I feel being shameless, having a bit of an audacity and having that ecosystem which will keep you motivated, keep you grounded is very, very important. Over a period of time, I have built my ecosystem. I know if I fail, my ecosystem will pick me up and put me back to the track. Today, that ecosystem is very, very important. First time entrepreneurs are, you know, like you're young, 19, 18, that's fine. I mean, you have that, what do I tell, time to recover, time to bounce back. But when you are in your 30s or, you know, early 40s, go with an ecosystem. Just do not make an emotional decision. I feel as an entrepreneur, balancing your emotional quotient and intelligent quotient is very, very important. If emotions are more, we are going to go other way. If intelligent, and then we are losing on certain things. So it's a very, what do I tell, a very tricky, but it's fun. It's fun. It's a one-way street. I don't think so you can go back.
It's crazy you speak about audacity, because this is something, exactly these words, which I had, you know, jotted it down in a memo last year around the same time. Be shameless, be audacious.
I think that's the main personality or a character that you require.
All right,
so
with that, we come to
Thank
an
you
end.
so
Thank you
much.
so much for being here.
I mean, I really
absolutely
Enjoy this conversation.
तो ये थे TimBuckDo के founders that are empowering generations of the new Bharat, and I wish them all, we all in fact, wish them all the very best. Like, share, subscribe, and stay tuned for more such stories. This is the Ideabaaz Podcast. This is the voice of India's dreamers.